Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate. And in the video that I put up earlier this morning, I did say that I was going to update everyone on Chaplin, so here we are. So here's Chaplin, and Chaplin has been here approximately a month now. He came after he was trapped in a TNR project, and that was around April 15th or so, somewhere in there. It's been about a month that he's been with me. He still has the ringworm issue that we're trying to work on, but as you can see, his head looks a lot better. Yes, he's a good boy, aren't you, Chaplin? You can see his head looks a lot better. I just cleaned out his his crate because he makes a heck of a mess in there. He's constantly throwing things around. And I do need to get some more disposable litter boxes. I'm just trying to... The only place I can find him is Petco, and I don't know, Petco just suddenly upped the price like $5-6. It's like, oh, it's inflation. It's inflation, tariffs, all this stuff is just killing me. But, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this little video with Chaplin is I have 2 subscribers that have contacted me about cats and asking how do we transition cats from outdoors and into the inside, making them indoor cats, and also how do you know when it works and when it doesn't work? Well, full disclaimer here, I'm not the expert. My manager, Kayla, who is a volunteer with Feline Solutions and has been working in animal welfare for 16 years and has all kinds of experience, and she has a binder. It's an inside joke, folks, but she's very experienced. She's attended a lot of seminars, webinars, trainings, all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, I think that Chaplin is a good example here of a cat that could be transitioned indoors and is being successfully transitioned indoors. I do have a little clip that I'll put I guess maybe I'll just put it at the end of this video of him at like early on. I think it was April 15th, 24th, somewhere in there, and you can really see the stark difference between then and now. So let's open, and I should have gloves on. This always freaks Kayla out when I touch him with my bare hands when he has ringworm, but this is Chaplin. And what's up, dude? Notice no hissing. No growling? I pet you? Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. I will wash my hands thoroughly after I'm done petting him, just so everyone knows. Up, and you're gonna look. See? And we're doing the love bites. He's not being aggressive. He's not being aggressive at all. He's playing. Say, I'm playing. Yeah, you're going to grab and I'm going to grab your finger. I'm going to bite you. Because that's what we do every day, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we do. And he does, he gets a little hard now, not so rough. Good boy. Good boy, Chaplin. Not so rough. Yeah, good boy. I used to do this when I had dogs. That's how I trained them not to, when they would play bite. You just tell them not so rough if they got a little too excessive. Works with cats too. You gonna let me pet you? Or are you just gonna bite me? Are you gonna bite me? He's ready for food. Yeah, he says, I'm ready for my... Ow! Not so rough. That's a little too rough, Chaplin. Not nice. Chaplin, not nice. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Oh, and he did get me, didn't he? Oh, Chaplin. Oh. Oh, Chaplin. Okay, hang on, everyone. Okay, everyone. So, just to show that I'm okay, let's see. You see that what happened was he must have got me. He punctured. He punctured the skin. And I didn't even notice it until it looked a lot worse than it actually is. You can see it's not that bad. I just put some pressure on it, stopped. I'm going to go clean it up, and then I'll come back and finish the video with him. And I had to clean clean the red stuff off of him. I don't know how YouTube's going to feel about this, but, you know, this is reality. If they flag the video, they flag the video. But this is the reality of working with the cats. He wasn't doing it on purpose. I'm going to put my hand back in here just so everyone sees it. He's not an aggressive cat. Yeah. He says, I'm not aggressive. I was just play too hard. He's learning. No, not nice. He also is time for food, so he's also a little irritated about that. So let me go clean this, and I will get him some food. I'm going to go disinfect this and put a little Band-Aid on it. And I will be back shortly. Yeah. He did like, though, when I was using the... Yeah, see, he grabs, and he gets a little bit aggressive. When I walk by, he'll hit me with his paw. Here, you want your mousey? Look here. Here's Mousy. You want the mousey? There's your mousey. Here's Mousy. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. But what I wanted to say about Chaplin, you can see, it stopped. It's fine. It's just like a little puncture. You can see with Chaplin, there is the 3-3-3 rule. So 3 days to decompress, 3 weeks to kind of get used to their surroundings and everything, and 3 months to completely settle in. So right now he's kind of in that 3-week stage. He's still getting used to, he's still settling, no, he's not settled in. And I mean, he won't be settled in because he's a foster cat. He's not staying here permanently, but he's used to me now. You can see there's no growling, there's no hissing, there's no sign of aggression coming from him. He's playing. He plays a lot. He wants to come out, but unfortunately I can't let him out with that ringworm. I also need to do his head. So, and he's got a kicker. That's Jack's old kicker there. He has a new mouse. I gave him the mouse that Jack had, but I got him a new mouse because the other mouse he tore apart. And I gave him a spring. So now I'm going to go get him some food. But for people that are working with these cats, if you've never done this before, you know, just know that it is a process. It is a process. And I'm going to go clean this wound and disinfect it and everything, and then I'll come back in a few minutes. So he's going to get his food, and I just want to show you what he does when he look, you can get your food, Chaplin? Yeah, see, that's what he does. He puts his paw out. We shake hands? Do we shake hands? Yes, we do. We shake hands between the bars. Okay, bud, let me get your food. Okay, now we got his food here, and as you can see, I put water in it for him. Oh, he was just batting at Maleficent. He's doing really well with the other cats now. He's not as upset with them. In fact, he's a bit curious. I held Maleficent up to the bar so he could see her the other day, and he actually just reached his paw out to her. You know, of course, I don't want him touching because he has ringworm, but I just wanted him to see her. So I'm going to put his food in here for him. I was hoping he'd do a silly little head. He does this little head bob when he's getting food. Look, what are you getting? You want to do your head bob? No, you're not going to do it? You're not going to do your head bob? He does this funny little head bob when he gets food. Like, he's so excited, his whole body vibrates. He loves his food. So he's getting his friskies. And I always add, you can see, I think you can see the water in there. I always add extra water. And he'll eat probably that, and then he'll probably eat like a 3-ounce can of Fancy Feast. And then I'll give him some Temptations. But he's doing really good. And again, if you look back at his, so for those people that are dealing with the cats that, you know, you have ones that are outside and you're trying to figure out, are they good candidates for being indoor cats or to be adopted? Again, you know, looking at that, you know, generally, if a cat is not going to be good inside, they're going to just freak out. They're going to try to climb the walls. They're going to try to climb curtains. They're just going to blow. That's the best way I can describe it. They are just literally going to explode when you have them in an environment. They're not going to do well in a crate. They're not going to, you know, sit calmly. They're going to be flailing themselves against the sides of the crate. And of course, you know, I had success. Like, I brought Abra in because Abra was born and raised outside. I was able to bring her in, and I brought her in increments. Like, one of the things that I would do with the outdoor cats is I would leave the back door open and let them come into the back room with the door open and let them eat so they know that they could leave. And then I would shut the door for just real briefly, like 30 seconds, 1 minute at the most. And when they flipped, I would just open the door and say, there you go, you can go on out. After you do that a couple of times, and especially if you have food, some of them calm down enough that they will tolerate closing the door. It can be a tough call, but there are a lot of ethical considerations too to bringing an outdoor cat indoors, especially if they are clearly a stray cat. Like, I have footage of Chaplin playing outside. I have footage of Chaplin. You know, Chaplin would get very close to me. He wasn't never really upset when I got close to him. I actually was even on the balcony a couple of times. If they're coming up on the balcony and like Jack was constantly trying to come into the apartment, it was very clear that Jack wanted to be in, that Jack wasn't. Someone had had him at some point. He had been in contact with humans at some point. Same way with Rogue. You know, there's quite a few. Valentina was another one. If they're coming to the door and wanting to come in, that's a good indication. If you don't know their background, again, it could be that they were born outside, that's all they know. And it could also be that somewhere down the line, they got put out or they got lost or, you know, whatever happened and they ended up on the street. And now they have been out so long that they've reverted. They've become somewhat feral. And I'm using that term very loosely because that does happen. You know, when they're outside, the longer they're outside, the more their survival instincts kick in. And they're going to revert to that wildness. Once they get inside and they know that they're safe, and no one's going to hurt them, they change. So, I will get back to the two people that contacted me. And, you know, Kayla's willing to try to navigate you through this confusing maze of transitioning outdoor into indoor and whether or not that's possible and a good fit. So I'm going to end it there. And just to show you one more time, it's fine. I'm fine. There was no real damage done. It was just he he got, I think, like I think he popped a vein. I think that's what happened. I think he just, when he grabbed, he popped a vein, and that's why there was so much red stuff. So I'm gonna put it up. We'll see what happens with YouTube. Worst case scenario, I might have to try to edit it out or put maybe I can cover it up. I can edit it. I can edit with put like something over it. But I like to show the reality of rescue work and fostering, because not every cat that you get, it's not always going to be that you're going to have kittens, or you're going to have a cat that is like Jack, that is pretty much, well, Jack was a little bit, Jack was experiencing a lot of the fear, anxiety, and stress too, and acting out. But, maybe a cat that was just dropped or got loose, or they've only been out for a day or two and they're really calm. I mean, you're not always going to have what they call easies when you foster. There's going to be cats that have trauma and have other issues, and so sometimes you are going to get hurt. I mean, the founder of Feline Solutions, Carol Molina, she actually got popped in the eye by one of the cats that she had at her home, and she nearly lost her eye over that. So it happens, it happens, you deal with it. But as I said, sometimes it's just not, sometimes sometimes you're not always lucky enough to get 4-week-old kittens and raise them. Of course, they beat me up too, but a little different than a full-grown cat, And he's learning. He's learning. He'll get there. He has to learn not to, I mean, he's doing, he's doing love bites, but they're really a little bit too, I mean, he's doing love bites, but he's doing it to the level he would do to another cat. So he has to understand that humans, we're not as hardcore as another cat. You bite us, and sometimes the red stuff flows. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will talk to everyone later. Thanks for watching. Bye for meow. Well, good morning. How are you today? How are you doing? What are you doing? Not just how are you doing, but what are you doing? Oh, what's the matter? Now what are you crying about? Rogue is down by my feet. Chaplin! What's going on, bud? Okay.